President Nikos Anastasiadis and Turkish Cypriot leader Mustafa Akinci today continued their negotiations in Geneva, discussing the chapter of governance. They also touched upon the chapters of the EU and the economy. Anastasiadis last night briefed the members of the National Council about the first day of his negotiations held with Akinci, during which they discussed the property issue, had a short discussion on governance, and a brainstorming session on security and guarantees. A source familiar with the negotiations said that the discussion of the properties issue was difficult and the leaders had to refer the 6 chapters involved in this issue to their negotiating teams. The teams reported back to them today. The source also said that during the brainstorming on security, there has been an effort by each side to understand the concerns of the other, and that there has been an understanding that the system that came into force in 1960 cannot continue. The source further added that there has not been a discussion on the issue of a rotating presidency, on which the two sides are unmoved from their positions. President Anastasiadis was reported to be disappointed with the leak of a confidential document on the properties issue he had handed to the members of the National Council. Spokesman Nikos Christodoulidis said that Anastasiadis will refrain from giving to party leaders who accompanied him in Geneva any other documents. He further added that at today's morning meeting with Akinci, no discussion was made on the issue of a rotating presidency. He added that the issues discussed are difficult and the government did not expect that it could be possible to close discussions easily. Christodoulidis noted that making progress has never been a prerequisite for the international conference on Thursday, which was convened by the United Nations. He did note, however, that the exchange of maps tomorrow will decide to a large extent how the conference will proceed. A source of the Greek Cypriot delegation in Geneva has said that as things stand right now, the Prime Minister of Greece, Alexis Tsipras, and the President of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, will not be attending the international conference on Cyprus that has been convened to tackle the issues of security and guarantees. The source was quoted by the Cyprus news agency as saying that there are ideas floating around as to who might represent Tsipras and Erdogan at the conference, but no final decisions have yet been made. The source said that the Greek Cypriot side had been briefed by Athens on a phone conversation between Tsipras and Erdogan yesterday, and that the conclusion is that nothing new on the issue of security came out of it. The European Union delegation, comprising European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker, the EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Federica Mogherini, and maybe other officials, will be present during the discussions at the conference and will outline the EU position on the issue of security and guarantees. The same source indicated that all 15 members of the UN Security Council will probably be present in Geneva for the conference, either at a political or a diplomatic level. The UN Secretary-General said in a routine report to the Security Council for the extension of the mandate of the peace force in Cyprus that there has been an unprecedented progress in the negotiating process on the Cyprus problem. The Secretary-General asked for a 6-month extension of the UNFICYP mandate until the end of July. The report said that Anastasiadis and Akinci managed to lead the negotiations beyond any point since 2008, achieving considerable progress on the 4 out of 6 negotiating chapters, that is, governance and power sharing, properties, the economy, and relations with the European Union. The Secretary-General noted that the process has reached its most crucial junction and urged the two leaders to build on the momentum as they embark on the most demanding part of their joint project. A bicommunal gathering was held this evening at the Nicosia buffer zone, sending a strong message to the community leaders negotiating in Geneva to reach a positive outcome that will reunify the country. The event was organized by over 130 Greek Cypriot and Turkish Cypriot trade unions, political parties, employers' organizations, and other civil society groups. There were no speeches at the event, at which singers from both communities performed for those attending, amongst them representatives of political parties and trade union leaders. A declaration signed by the participants urged the community leaders to negotiate decisively and constructively in order to reach an agreement that meets the expectations of all people. Severe frosts and snowstorms killed at least 46 people in Central Europe over the weekend, mainly in Poland, as temperatures in the region dropped below -30°C in some places. In Poland, 25 people died of the cold over the weekend, bringing the death toll since November to 65. Czech media said 6 Czechs, mostly homeless, died over the weekend, 4 of them in the capital Prague. Several weather stations in the Czech mountains reported temperatures below -30, including -34.6 in the southwestern Sumava Mountains. The Hungarian state news agency said that 2 people died as temperatures dropped to -17 degrees nationally and -28 in Budapest. The Danube River was slowly freezing over in Budapest, a rare sight in recent years. Further south, Italy counts at least 2 dead. That's it for our news. Now look at the weather. Mostly clear tomorrow with a cloud-cover at times. Winds will initially be light variable, force 3, and at times moderate, force 4, turning mostly northeasterly to southeasterly in the afternoon. Seas will be slight to moderate. Temperatures will reach 15 degrees Celsius inland, 17 in coastal areas, and 4 over the mountains where frost is expected locally. Partly cloudy to cloudy over the next 3 days with light rain and possibly isolated showers. Temperatures will remain unchanged. The depth of snow is 85 centimeters on Mount Olympus and 75 centimeters on Troodos Square. That's it from us. Join us again tomorrow for more news in English. Have a very good evening.